Shortly after Julio Foolio's untimely passing, A's right-hand man took to Instagram posting, "Game over, we won, stupid." By the following morning, news outlets began reporting that a Jacksonville rapper had admitted to targeting Julio, claiming that Young and A had placed a $10,000 bounty on his head.
Hey, on everything I love, bro. On the big homies, bro. I put it on everything, on my soul, on my kids. I'm the one that smacked Julio Foolio that night he got at his birthday celebration, bro. You feel me? I ain't gonna show my face and give my identity away or nothing like that. I did that, you feel me? There was money on his head, you feel me? I rock with Ace and them boys, you feel me? ATK, you feel me? I be in Jacksonville heavy, you feel me? If you know, you know. But yeah, you feel me? I did that, you feel me? I handled that because, you know, Ace had that money on his head, you know, Ace had to put that 10K up, told me to slide, told me to, you know, he got tired of that running his mouth playing all the time, you feel me? So what had to be done, you know what I'm saying? So I just handled it, you feel me? It is what it is, bro.
As federal authorities labeled Young and Ace as the frontmen of the crime, Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters even issued a public service announcement directed at Young and Ace and their crew.
So Young and Ace has long been known in Jacksonville. We are consistently monitoring those groups. We have people that are always watching them. I won't speak to the chief's investigation. That's up to TPD. We don't have an investigation on him right now, but he can't move around in Jacksonville without us knowing. And that's for the betterment of our community.
The recently released federal case files on Julio Foolio's passing reveal disturbing details about the rival street gangs connected to the case. The files begin by stating that Julio Foolio was born on June 21, 1998, and was ambushed by rival gang members on a Sunday morning in Tampa. What was meant to be a celebratory weekend for his birthday took a tragic turn, largely due to social media. Upon arriving in Tampa, Foolio and his crew rented an Airbnb for the weekend. Shortly after settling in, Foolio posted on his Instagram story, unknowingly setting off a chain of events that led to the unthinkable.
Hey, the pool party start today at 5, 6 o'clock. You already got the address, pull up. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. Pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock. DM me for the address or DM Julio booking ESPN. I'm gonna put it right here. We just got it, bro. You got to add it. You got to add it, man. Push up. You just got to this bit. Tampa, Florida, man. You already got to add it to the pool party. Push up at 5:30, man. Push up at 5:30, man. We can get that at 5:30, 6 o'clock, man.
The party inside the Airbnb lasted only about 2 hours before Foolio made a critical mistake. He shared footage from inside, revealing everyone in attendance. In doing so, he unintentionally broadcasted to his rivals that he was drinking all night, had no security, and was surrounded by several women. This was just the first of many missteps. With millions of followers, including his enemies, watching his every move, it wasn't long before trouble followed. An hour later, police arrived at the Airbnb and contacted the landlord, who ultimately forced Foolio and his crew to leave. Instead of laying low, Foolio once again took to Instagram, hinting at his next move, posting a flyer for a nearby club, inviting everyone to pull up while revealing the exact address. In what seemed like an attempt to break a social media record for the most location drops in one weekend, he continued making risky decisions. Even after arriving at the club, he made another post, this time sharing his precise location inside, stating, "I'm in the upstairs lounge," practically taunting his enemies.
We came deep up for my birthday, man. Everybody coming up to the bed. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We deep as 20 deep, lit everywhere we go.
This gave Foolio's rivals plenty of time to organize, plan, and scope out the scene before making their move. The events of the 23rd day of the month would later prove to be significant, but more on that later. After leaving the club, Foolio and his crew gathered in the parking lot while his manager searched for a place to stay. What they didn't realize was that across the street, 3 cars filled with rival gang members were waiting, watching their every move. Eventually, Foolio's manager found a nearby Holiday Inn and decided to book rooms. As Foolio and his crew headed toward the hotel, their enemies quietly followed just 100 meters behind. Upon arriving at the Holiday Inn, the scene was eerily silent. While Foolio's manager was inside securing the rooms, several cars suddenly pulled up, packed with armed gang members ready to ambush. Meanwhile, another set of attackers had been waiting in nearby bushes, tasked with locating Foolio and handling him on the spot. The federal investigation into the attack lasted a year, and what they uncovered was chilling. Authorities determined it was a clear act of retaliation against Foolio, made even more symbolic by the fact that it occurred on the 23rd day of the Isai month. This date was significant because it tied directly to Foolio's past diss track, When I See You, where he mocked Young and Ace for the loss of his brothers. In the song, Foolio rapped, "Went out to eat on his birthday. 4 hit, 3 passed. In the worst way. He kept dissing on me, and now we hit in 23. Disturbingly, on Foolio's birthday, those same rivals struck again, targeting 4 people on the 23rd, eerily mirroring the lyrics from Foolio's own song. In response, Young and Ace would later reference the incident in his newest track, rapping, 4 in the car, 1 of them gone, 3 got hit, effectively flipping Foolio's own words against him. However, these lyrics, while a clear taunt, also served as self-incrimination, giving the feds a major lead in the case. Sensing the pressure closing in, Young and Ace made a drastic move. He quickly disbanded his gang, ATK. In a tweet, he declared, "There's no such thing as ATK anymore. That stuff is gone and over with," seemingly trying to distance himself from the violence before federal authorities could close in.
I say no more ATK, it ain't no more. I'm talking about we don't do tripping. Everybody always got to say, when the time for the Lord to be paid, just be at. Got all this to say, just be at though. You need to get buried. When the time to spend that money, to be. That's all we got to say, but don't be on shit, man. Don't get no feet wet or nothing, man. You be talking, man. Wrong with you, man. Don't talk like me. You talk, don't get the man. When I say no more ATK, ain't no more.
As the situation became increasingly evident, fans quickly took notice, with one commenting, "LOL, he's watching that L-Baby interview," while another ominously remarked, "Rico's coming." Many drew parallels to L-Baby, who had similarly distanced himself from his crew, PF, after realizing that federal authorities were closing in. Even DJ Academics had warned him in the past, bluntly stating that he was next in line.
Whack 100 recently spoke about you, and he says, "You're next."
How would you say that, bro? How would you wish that?
I don't know if he was wishing that. I think he's thinking about, like, in terms of, people want to get the target, like the high profile target, and if Foolio is out there, now they're like, well, the only way to make another thing is you.
I wish for me. I'm letting you get up. I'm not letting nobody get up.
With his passing now, right? Does it mean that this whole situation is over?
Never a situation.
As Young and Ace is, he has faced countless challenges from his rivals. But now the threat isn't just from the streets, it's from law enforcement. Even he acknowledged this himself, calling out the police for deliberately shutting down his concerts in an attempt to stifle his business and limit his income.
Jacksonville police and I don't know how they be doing it, but they always call around and cancel my shows. What's up with y'all? What's going on? Why y'all want to cancel my show? I don't even live there in Jacksonville. Why y'all want to cancel my show? Why y'all trying to my money? Yeah, man, I'm trying to my life. But y'all worry about what I got going on. I ain't dying with y'all. Y'all cancel all my shows, but I just had a show in Temple. Y'all got the show canceled in Tampa. I had a show in Virginia. I called them show canceled up. I had a show in Gainesville. I canceled my show in Gainesville before. Daytona. Feel me? Like, what's really going on?
However, the deeper investigators dug into the federal case files, the more chilling the revelations became. Authorities uncovered that the primary motive for targeting Foolio was the death of Young and Ace's best friend, ATK Mitch. In fact, Mitch had been orchestrating a 2-year plan against Foolio. What made the situation even more unsettling was that just a month before Foolio's passing, he had publicly stated in an interview that both groups had agreed to end their rivalry and work toward reducing crime in Jacksonville.
Y'all probably didn't know this. Even though I said what I said about that, me and Jedi Breeze supposed to be doing the Stop the Violence song. We probably gonna get that to the motion. And get that shit out of the way for the kids, for the youth. Yeah, we gotta make this foot better, man.
You and J. Breeze have a Stop the Violence record.
Yeah, that's it. It's talked about. I DM'd about it. My big cousin wrote about it too. He said he with it. I'm with it. But basically, right now we.
But according to federal investigators, ATK had a far more calculated plan. They believed the group intentionally wanted Foolio to let his guard down, and on his birthday, he did just that, seemingly convinced that the rivalry had ended. Feeling untouchable, he openly shared his locations, addresses, and even the people he was with. However, this was all part of a larger act of revenge for what had happened in April 2022. That month, officers pulled Foolio over while he was driving a Dodge Durango due to illegal window tint. The routine stop quickly escalated when he handed over his driver's license. Upon realizing who he was, officers immediately placed him in handcuffs and put him in the back of a patrol car. He was then questioned about the death of ATK Mitch, making it clear that law enforcement had been watching closely long before the final ambush.
Right. So, I ain't want to bring it up, I know you're going to be upset. Mitch, some text I want to talk to you real quick about what happened to Mitch.
How long that's gonna take?
Not that long, depends on you. They just gonna ask what you know about what happened.
Once Foolio was placed in the patrol car, he knew exactly what was coming, questioning. As expected, he was swiftly transported to the station, where he was formally interrogated, signaling that law enforcement had been building a case against him long before the events that followed.
What type of work do you do? What type of artist? You're an artist. As far as music go, what are you hearing?
I was in Miami when I heard move, you know what I'm saying? I was making music. I saw posting on Instagram, Mitch, the whole chapter, Mitch.
At the station, detectives wasted no time digging into Foolio's connection to ATK Mitch. They began scrutinizing how the two knew each other and whether their past interactions played a role in the ongoing feud. As the interrogation intensified, Foolio was pressed about his whereabouts at the time of ATK Mitch's death, making it clear that authorities were piecing together a much larger puzzle.
All right, the reason why I'm here, I'm your friend's case. You have friends that recently got hit.
A lot of friends that
recently. Mitch.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm lead on that. I don't know how close you guys were. Can you kind of give me just run down y'all relationship with y'all met? How long y'all been apart together?
Despite their efforts, detectives had no concrete evidence against Foolio. However, they strongly believed he was connected to ATK Mitch's death, largely due to the lyrics in his songs, which seemed to reference the incident. With little to go on, they resorted to fishing for any information they could extract from him, but Foolio remained firm, repeatedly telling them he didn't know anything.
Guys, if you may know, I guess something that helped. Just if you know his mom, you can sit up there and call his mom. And I'm pretty sure you want her to ask him questions.
Well, brother, I don't know who did. I ain't. That's what I'm saying. You would never know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Well, I just heard this is your brother. I'm sorry, I'm in Miami at the time.
You ain't tired of that, man?
Yeah.
As Foolio continued to deny any involvement, detectives shifted their focus, questioning why his music was so deeply tied to crime in Jacksonville. They pressed him on how his lyrics seemed to vividly describe real-life incidents, including the way crimes were carried out. Growing increasingly frustrated, they were convinced that Foolio knew exactly what had happened to ATK Mitch, but was refusing to talk.
I think that your music or your ways or the way you conduct yourself to your music and
even before I was rapping, it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say it's my music just by somebody, you know what I'm saying?
okay, do you think it influenced someone or triggered someone, like the way y'all going back and forth? Do you feel that way?
A song can't make no nothing.
This left many furious with Foolio, accusing him of lying to the police. However, by 2025, federal records pointed to his death as a clear act of retaliation for ATK Mitch. Even Charleston White weighed in, stating that Foolio shouldn't have lied, further reinforcing the belief that his fate was sealed by the very feud he once rapped about.